Hey guys, I want to welcome you and let you know how great it is to have you here for the Greater Purpose Podcast.
What's up? Welcome to the Greater Purpose Podcast from the Cubs room. And of course, you remember the cheering crowd in the
Absolutely.
background. Okay. All right. So we're taking a little different direction with the podcast. I'm going to tell everybody about that in a minute, but I do want to recognize our main primary sponsor, which is A+ Lawn Care and Landscaping. Our good friend Scott Sheehan. He likes to support good causes, and he thinks we're a good cause. So
wonderful.
We appreciate him for that. So. Also, I don't think there's any other promotional stuff, but I do want to speak on why this is not a repost of a past episode. This is I don't know what shirt and tie you wore last time, but
so I actually went back and checked this morning when I was getting dressed this morning. I went back, I pulled up the episode and said, "Look, the navy and the red striped tie, can't wear that."
All right.
So
it's always a white shirt, though, right?
Always a white shirt.
There you go. Cool. Yeah. All right, so this is Travis Page, but we'll talk about him in just a second because I want to tell you why he's here again, why you're not seeing double vision. We do occasionally repost a podcast if I go on vacation or something like that, and we have a gap. But that's not what we're doing. Several weeks ago, I always pray about what God wants me to do. Ask Him, give me guidance, tell me what you want to do. We have guests. We have new guests lined up. I got a couple guys that are in the wings. They're going to be coming in. I have suggestions all the time, so we're working on it. This is like a daily thing, so it doesn't happen like I don't just tap a guy on the shoulder. Hey, can you come tomorrow? It doesn't work that way. But talking about different direction and whatever, God talks to you and shows you direction and tells you. So I was talking to God about it, praying about it, and it was like, well, bring back some of the guests that you've had. We've had a couple back. Shannon Williams has been here a couple times because he's written a couple of books. So he's come back for specific reasons. Paul Brentley came back because he came back to talk about a specific topic.
Right.
So a couple people have come back topically, but it wasn't like a regular thing.
Right.
That makes sense. So anyway, and I felt like that's what God was leading me to do. And then I had a guest come in. And at the end of the podcast, when we were done, he said, "I don't know if you'll ever have me come back in again, but I'd really love to come back again." And I'm like, "Brother, that was confirmation."
There we go.
That was when I sent you a message and said, "Hey, would you be willing to come back?" So I appreciate you. Our district attorney for Gaston County, Travis Page.
Yeah. We're
glad to have you here. Go back and watch his first podcast to find out who he is. We're not doing all that again. We're not going to handhold through this, okay?
Yeah, go back and listen to episode 1. Or I guess it's episode 29, I think.
You looked at it. There you go.
So I did. I told you, yeah.
And this is episode 114, I think.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And we're about
114 people to come in here. That's unreal.
Right? Yeah, it is. Well, some of those now, a couple of them are, like I said, we fill in the gaps. I teach Sunday school occasionally. I fill in and I post a Sunday school lesson like that. So it's probably... I'd have to look it back and say, but it's at least 90-something that have come through. Amazing, just amazing. All of you guys.
Well, you've had some really good guests, and so it's really cool to be back and be a part of this podcast. It means a lot that you would not only have me once, but care to invite me and have me back for a second time. So,
well, I'm going to tell them who you are, besides the district attorney. This is a Christian man in the district attorney's seat in Gaston County. And I don't care what anybody says out there, and I don't usually come to people's defense on Facebook.
Yeah.
But I think, people get mad about stuff and they throw it off on the office or the person in that position. And I think somebody did that to you a month or so ago.
Yeah, a lot of folks have.
See, I don't see all that. And the ones I do see, it's like, whatever. But this person was completely out of line, and I did, because I'm like, okay, I said, you do not know the man you're talking about. I guarantee you don't know him. So having said that, we have good Christian leadership in the district attorney's office, and that's what you want to talk about today, right?
Absolutely.
That's cool.
So yeah, we've got a lot of exciting things that have happened. I think since the last time you spoke, there have been a lot of developments. I'm coming up on 4 years in office. I was sworn in August 2nd, 2021, after being appointed to the position, and was reelected to a 4-year term. And we're coming up on the end of that 4-year term. I'll be filing for reelection at the end of this year. But we've really tried to make an impact in this first term and make a difference in the community. One of the first things that we wanted to do is really build and grow the office, and to where we could focus on quality prosecutions, re-engage with law enforcement, build relationships, not only just with our law enforcement partners, but also out in the community too.
Right.
And so we've been able to see that take flight over the last couple of years. We've had some initiatives, and kind of want to talk about those today, and especially so. It's funny. It's funny. You've got a verse here in the studio, Romans 8:28, and I was asked to speak and give a sermon last year at my church, at First Presbyterian Church in Belmont, and I included Romans 8:28. It was right after Hurricane Helene.
Oh, wow!
And so I see that verse pops up, and it comes to me a lot of times when we see bad things happen. And unfortunately, my job, see a lot of bad things happen, and so we know that God causes all things to work together for the good of those who love God, those who are called according to His purpose. And
which we adopted that verse. I mean, it fits the greater purpose and what the guys come in here to speak about. And what we're encouraging everybody out there to step into. But that, I don't remember why. It might have been one of the Sunday school lessons I was doing or whatever, but that just jumped out. And I'm like, that is the verse that these guys, that you and the other guys that have come through here this is what we're living out. We're trying to live out. So,
well, some of the worst things that I see as district attorney are homicides. And so, I think coming out of COVID, we had 60 pending homicides in Gaston County. We worked to get rid of some of that backlog, reduced it by about 25%. And we've been very aggressive in working those cases. But one of the things that we found in working those cases is, they're long prosecutions. They might last from anywhere from a year to 3, even 4 years to get a case tried, a homicide case. And COVID didn't help, because we paused, homicide trials were paused for effectively 2 years, but unfortunately people didn't stop committing homicides.
That just added to it.
But when you work with those families, you build relationships with them. You develop that trust and that rapport with them. You get to know who they are. You get to know their pets. You get to learn everything about them. And what's unfortunate is that when the case gets tried and you get that verdict, a lot of times you lose track of one another. You lose touch. And, all right, we've got your guilty verdict.
Bye-bye.
See you later. It's on to the next one. And so one of the things that we started, and we got some ideas from some other jurisdictions that have done a similar thing, Wilmington, also Charlotte, in Mecklenburg County. But we started a support group for homicide victims or their families. And so we do that every month, the first Tuesday of the month.
Oh, cool.
From 6:30 to 8 o'clock at the First Baptist Church in Gastonia. Shout out to Dwayne Burks in his congregation for making that space available. One of the things that we found was the location was very important. If you had it at the courthouse, you had it at the police department, a lot of times that can trigger some of that trauma. And we don't really want to do that. And so we wanted it to be a safe space where folks could feel comfortable to share, and there's no safer space than the Lord's house.
So did you contact him, or was he just in the loop, or how did that?
So I talked with him. I talked with him about some other issues in the community, homelessness and other things. And he was a natural partner, and has been very supportive of it throughout. And so we're a year into it now, but the group, we typically, we meet at 6:30 and we have a meal prepared. So a lot of these folks, may not have the best meal options available to them, and so we're able to provide a good meal. Italian. We've had a lot of Italian. We've had shrimp boat. We've had some webs.
Where was the Italian from?
I forget.
Okay. Not Dino's.
No, it was not Dino's, and so Dino's
my favorite.
Yeah, we need to hit them up.
Yeah, do that. Yeah.
So, but anyways, we're looking for restaurants and partners to donate meals, and that's how you can support this group. And so we've been very fortunate. We've been doing it a little over a year, and we haven't had to come out of pocket for a meal yet because of our community partners have been willing to donate meals and provide those. And I think Mr. Sheehan's helped with that. Yeah. Jerry Woods has been a very helpful individual. But the first thing that we do is we gather in prayer, we break bread together, and we have law enforcement detectives from the Gaston County Police Department, from the Gastonia Police Department, and folks from my office, usually myself or one of my senior ADAs. And we're there for at least the first 30 minutes of the session to answer any questions that they might have about just general, homicide investigations. If they have a question about a specific case, a lot of times maybe we're not the ones that work that case or work in the case. And so we can relay those back to the people who are and have them get in touch with those individuals.
Sure.
And then we have therapy, a group counseling session there. And it's designed for law enforcement to step out, and ADAs as well, to give them, again, that safe space where they feel if they want to complain about the system or vent, they feel comfortable to do that.
Sure.
But a lot of times the spirit has moved within that group.
Nice.
And so you
were telling me that before, so.
And the spirit's moved, and we've been able to talk about building relationships and repairing bridges in the community.
You call it Holy Ghost.
Yeah. Because, a lot of the folks that have been affected by homicides are coming from parts of the community that have been distrustful of the court system, distrustful of law enforcement. They don't want to get involved, don't want to be witnesses in cases or cooperate. And so we're doing this not only to serve those folks who've had their lives completely dismantled, but we're also doing it to restore trust in parts of the community that haven't trusted law enforcement.
Right.
And we're building relationships. And
so this is big right now because of the Kohlberger case nationwide. So because I've been listening to their interviews, some of them, and can't imagine the struggle that they're going through. So when a case is either plea the case or you get a conviction, or I guess or
the worst,
or not guilty. Yeah. You reach out directly to the families then? Is that
so? Usually we're reaching out and engaging with the families early on in the process. And that's just, we offer that as an additional service, that ability to come and go ahead and engage. And we have some folks that have solid foundations. They've worked, they're clinicians and therapists that have helped facilitate some of those meetings. And we can connect for counseling, connect folks that attend those meetings to counseling outside of the meetings for individual sessions. For, we have a lot of children that have experienced the trauma, maybe firsthand, some secondhand, of mom or dad not coming home anymore. And so we're able to try to work to connect those kids to someone that can address the trauma as well.
Yeah. And they would get lost they have gotten lost in the system.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they end up being the one that you see down the road in the courtrooms.
Exactly. And it goes back to the whole ACEs discussion, the adverse childhood experiences, the things that are risk factors for future criminality and also future health issues. Yeah. So we've got that group going on. Our big event of the year, we do a couple different things actually in September. So coming up at the Rotary Pavilion this year, I think it's going to be September 23rd, we'll celebrate the National Day of Remembrance for homicide victims. And we do that. It's very powerful. We have a candlelight vigil. We do that at the Rotary Pavilion.
There's a church that does something similar. I actually got a chance to shoot pictures for the Gazette in the early, 2012, 2013. I was, and it was not just, but it wasn't just homicide. It was suicide. It was other people who had lost, I think it was children. Yeah. So It could have been grandparents, could have been parents, could have been,
wow.
Yeah, and it was, oh my gosh, with the candlelight visual and people getting up and giving some amazing testimonies was pretty powerful. I'm a crybaby, so
I am too.
I'm sitting there I literally had to step out of the room because I'm trying to take pictures and I'm bawling like a baby, and then I had to come back in.
So. Well, I'll confess, and it's a public confession. Everyone watching can hear it. Right. So I'm a crybaby too. There's part of Field of Dreams that gets me every time at the end.
Right.
And I've cried in Forrest Gump, but every one of these meetings that I've attended, at some point, I've gotten blessed and gotten emotional to the point of tears at some point during these meetings. And a lot of the times, it's folks sharing their faith and witnessing to one another and sharing how God has comforted them. And again, Romans 8:28, bad things happen, but God can use you in those bad things. And that is...
You heard that.
And
this man is living it out. He's seeing it in some situations that now some of you might have, but most of us are never going to experience that. Thank you, Lord. But we're experiencing other difficulties.
Yeah.
So just remember, those difficulties, they're not good.
Yeah.
The murder wasn't good. The outcome of that part wasn't good. Maybe the trial wasn't even good. Yeah. But God takes, if you're called, if you love God, that's what we made a point on. I think I did a little Bible study on this one time. Specifically, according to His purpose.
Right.
So it's not about God's going to take care of everything. It's going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
It's not about He's going to do it the way you want it. The outcome may not be that. It's going to be for His purpose to glorify Him, which is what's happening.
Right.
Through the work that
and folks are witnessing and sharing how God has comforted them. And one of the things that our mascot for it is the Cardinal.
Okay.
I know as a Cubs fan that might pain you.
Yeah, I know. That's getting me right here.
But I know. Back in the day, I was a big Cardinals fan. I love some Ozzie Smith. He was one of my favorite.
Cardinal twice.
Yeah. but really, there's when a Cardinal is near, or I forget what the expression is, but basically there's a little rhyme to it, but I've butchered it.
That's okay.
But basically, a Cardinal is essentially a loved one coming to check on you, or an angel being near. And so we use the Cardinal as a mascot for a group. And when a family has been affected by homicide, a lot of times we've got these little lapel pins that we will hand out and for them to wear to court, or for them to just put in their car or carry with them, so that they never feel alone.
Yeah.
And but it's a ministry, and we're helping folks through some of the toughest, darkest days of their life, and that's what we're called is really to do.
Yep. Serve. Listen, this is what we talk about this almost every time. There's some place for you to serve. This might be it.
Yeah.
This could be the place.
Absolutely.
Because I'm sure you need people, besides food, you need people to set up, you need people to prep for everything, whatever. And I'm sure the church does a lot of that kind of stuff too. But there could be an opportunity, plus coming to the event, supporting the event.
Absolutely.
So what they need to know is, and we'll put this in the comments, we'll put it in the description, phone number to call, or email to send, or locations, addresses, and that kind of stuff. So you don't have to rattle all that off now, but he will send me those, and we will put them in the description so that you can find a place to serve. Or maybe your brother owns, Jimmy Bob's Barbecue or whatever. So you call your brother and say, hey, Jimmy Bob, they need the meals here. So there you go. Now you've served your greater purpose.
Absolutely.
Because you were able to put somebody in touch with somebody else. Yeah. So that's cool. Okay.
So one of my favorite things, and I hate to say this because we've got some projects that we've done, and I love what we're doing with the Homicide Support Group, but one of my favorite things right now that's happening up the courthouse, and I give a shout out to Judge Justin Davis too. One of your, I think he's been on the show.
He has not been.
He has not.
We're pushing him. He's got a crazy schedule. So
well, we need to get him on the show because he needs to talk with you about our drug treatment court.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's one of my most favorite things that we have going at the courthouse. And so make no mistake about it, one of the biggest problems that we have in Gaston County right now is drug addiction. And I mean, it is a public health crisis in the United States. What is happening with fentanyl, and then here locally, also what's happening with methamphetamine.
Right.
And we are seeing it play out on a daily basis. It's not just the homeless folks that you see out on the street who might be addicted or have substance use issues, but it's the kids that are whose parents are being taken out of the house and they're showing up at school. They're in foster care again. Approaching 500 kids in foster care in Gaston County. 70% of them are because of drugs.
Wow.
If you look at other counties statewide, the average is around 45% of the kids being in foster care because of substance use issues. And here, the substance use issue is a much bigger problem. And it's not just affecting the users. It's creating a strain on our jail locally. We had, I think, as of this morning, 612 people in jail in Gaston County that the taxpayers of this county are paying for. But so we've been tough on drug dealers. We've taken a tougher stance on trafficking, but at the same time, again, it goes back to Romans 8:28.
Yep.
And God is using this problem in Gaston County, and we're addressing it, approaching it in a Christ-like manner, and offering some grace. Drug Treatment Court, what it is they come in and they admit responsibility. They're found guilty. They're placed on probation, and it's intensive probation. They're coming to court usually at a minimum of every 2 weeks. They're standing in front of a judge. And we're getting a report, so we're meeting the day before court, and we're talking about what this person has done over the past 2 weeks.
Wow.
So have they attended all their classes, their therapy, their sessions? We're finding out what's causing their addiction or their issue. Is there some kind of unaddressed trauma that's happened that we need to talk about that too?
Wow.
And so we're connecting them to resources to address the substance use. We're addressing those things and setting goals for them, proximal goals and distal goals. And then when they fall short, they mess up, we hold them accountable. There are sanctions. It could be dips in jail. It could be community service. It could be increased meetings or treatment appointments.
With some type of
there's accountability. But also at the same time, we're building relationships with these folks where they may have never had relationships in the past. And the thing is the 12-step program. One of the things, I didn't learn this until we started working with the 12-step is a faith-based program.
Yes. Yeah.
And what we stress, and we do it as much as we can, is that you are not bigger than your addiction or your issue, but there's somebody who is, who overcame the grave, who can overcome your addiction. And so, and what's been very cool, if I can take a sip here for a second.
Yeah, go ahead. It's just, why is this not happening nationwide is the question that's coming as you're talking about it.
But anyways, we've seen folks who are going through working the program who maybe haven't been sober since they were 15 or 16 years old, or now in their 30s. And they're standing up in a well of a courtroom in Gaston County, looking to two inmates sitting in the jury box who are watching court, determining whether or not they want to be in this program, and saying, "Hey, brother, you need to give it up to him. Give it to him."
Amen. That's great. I love it.
And that the individual that I'm talking about, he's even now involved in his own church and is participating in the praise band.
Wow, that's crazy. That's great.
And we're talking about folks with, again, who haven't been sober since they were 14 or 15 years old, who are going on 8 months or 9 months or even a year or longer sober and clean.
Yeah.
And we're addressing the needs that they have and putting them in a position where they can focus on sobriety.
Right.
And
well, can I say this? Because you are the man in the position that implemented the program. But we have some amazing Christian judges.
Yeah, we do. We do. And I can't take credit for implementing it.
Okay.
It's all of us.
Right.
We came together.
Right. And I didn't say that.
This is a program that we, the public defender, the PD's office, Judge Davis, his leadership, the county police, and helping provide a position to serve as a coordinator when we didn't have grant monies. All of these folks acknowledging a problem, acknowledging that the traditional way of doing things isn't fixing it, and then let's take this approach.
Right. So everybody's come together.
And let's not be afraid to be bold and be truthful.
Wow.
And allow folks to witness.
Yeah. Well, and that's happening. It's just a mill. A lot of the courtroom is just a mill.
Yeah,
just to knock people through.
You can either process people or you can try to make a difference.
Yeah.
And
that is cool.
And so
making a difference.
And that's what we're doing.
So so a lot of figures that you just stated. I didn't realize how many kids are in foster care. I didn't realize the percentage of the kids, which, by the way, shout out for Lisa. These, I know you support them.
Absolutely.
And what they do for foster parents and foster families. And there are other good organizations as well. But that's the thing. So there's ways to get involved in that too.
Yeah. And actually, the biggest thing that you can do to support the district attorney's office and the court system, really, I think, would be to get involved in the foster system.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because the kids that are going through the foster care system, they need a loving home.
Yep.
The common threads that you see with folks who are in and out of the courthouse, in and out of our jails, is a poor education, and poor home life.
Yeah, yeah. So the least of these Carolinas, one way to go, they can put you in touch. Or South Gastonia Church of God, my church, Paul and Lena Rick. They do our foster care ministry at our church.
That's wonderful.
And amazing. I have told we have multiple families at our church that are foster families. And I've seen, they come and go sometimes, which I get it. We need those families that can do that.
Yeah.
And I ain't one of those. There's no way I could attach myself to a little kid for 6 months, 8 months, a year.
And then say goodbye.
And then say goodbye.
Yeah.
It would kill me. I hate this. But that's okay. God didn't call me to do that.
But that 6 months might completely change the tenor and the trajectory of that kid's life.
Absolutely, 100%. So listen, you guys are amazing to me for those that are able to do that.
Yeah.
For what's going on with both of your situations. So you're helping the homicide families. You're helping foster kids. You're helping drug addicts. That is just crazy. That is awesome.
and the other thing that we're working on, and this is a big county-wide project that initially started as something that was kind of siloed in different communities. Yeah. It's a national movement. It's called Faith in Blue Weekend.
Okay, we'll put that up here.
Yeah. And so Faith in Blue Weekend is something that was born in another part of the country. I forget where. But there's a website, you can check it out, Google Faith in Blue Weekend 2025. Okay. But what it centers around is uniting our churches in this country with our law enforcement. And making sure that there's the dialogue there, that we're talking about ways to improve policing, but also making sure that our churches are being supported and that there's relationships there and they can build upon whatever history they have and improve their communities together.
Nice.
And so what we do, Faith in Blue Weekend, and I'm familiar, I live in Belmont, and Belmont is one of the first areas in the county that really kind of adopted Faith in Blue Weekend. I think Gastonia's picked it up, Ranlow's done it as well, and maybe a couple other places. But this year, we're trying to do something different. We're trying to make it countywide.
Yes, yeah.
And so we've been working on that throughout the year. And so Friday morning, we're looking at each town or each city. So Gastonia, Belmont, Mount Holly, Stanley, Cherryville, Bessemer City, Ranlow. We're looking to have a breakfast, a police breakfast between clergy, any civilians or citizens that want to attend, and law enforcement. Get everyone break bread together. Kick off the weekend.
Yeah.
On Saturday, then we have a community project. We identify a need in the community to where law enforcement and, again, our faith-based community can get together and do something constructive together. Nice. And then on Sunday, we'll have a unity march starting around 4 o'clock at the Rotary Pavilion. We'll march to the Fuse Ballpark, and we'll have a countywide church service.
That's already in place. That's going to be happening.
It's going to be happening. It's going to be the weekend of, let's see, October 12th is Sunday, so that's what, October 10th through 12th.
Okay. Nice.
And we'll get you the flyer, get you the information for
Absolutely.
that. But no, it's something that we've done well in Belmont, and our churches have been supportive of it. But we want to bring it to the greater Gaston County community, and again, get people working together.
Yeah,
we all have the same interest in heart of making this a great place to live and worshiping God.
Yep. Well, and that's it. Faith-based is important. I don't care what anybody says. Government and faith together are important.
Yeah.
And interesting, you said break bread twice.
Mm-hmm.
You said it with the homicide families, and then again with the last initiative. And that's important.
Yeah.
As much as as weird as that sounds, break bread with somebody and you can build a relationship.
That's the best way. We have lunch.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Yep. And it makes a difference in the communication, in the friendship, in the bond, how you understand somebody. Because when you're breaking bread, all the facades come down,
Sure.
I mean, you're chomping away, you're eating, you're just talking about stuff.
That's right.
And I think that makes a huge, I've tried to make a point of trying to do that over the I guess the past couple of years now, and it makes a big difference in relationships.
Yeah.
With other people now, specifically men, because this is geared toward men. But if you're not breaking bread with friends, colleagues, people in your community, just ask a guy. Just say, hey.
Yeah.
Which was weird for me because I didn't used to do that all the time, just occasionally. And then I just started asking guys. It's like, hey, like with you,
breakfast.
Hey, let's have lunch. Yeah,
let's have lunch, or let's go to breakfast.
Yeah, the breakfast. So it makes the relationships and the things that change that you don't even realize they're changing until 6 or 8 months down the road, or sometimes a year or two down the road, and you look back and you go, wow. Here's a couple guys that didn't even know each other. Now they're doing really cool stuff for God.
Yeah.
But anyway, so sorry, I wanted to go into breaking bread because you said it twice. And somebody said that to me years ago. I was in sales back in the 90s. I know, terrible, right? And a guy told me, he said, because it was in home, and they said if you're in a house and they offer you something to eat, you take it.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, middle of the day, sandwich.
Yeah.
A biscuit, whatever it is, you take it. You break bread with them because you build a relationship.
Right. It's so hard, as busy as we are today, to be intentional about maintaining and creating and building relationships, because we're just going to go wherever the day takes us. A lot of times, it seems like, but we all at some point have to stop to eat and to gather, and so it's a very natural way to build relationships.
Yeah. Well, and those to me has shown me. We'll talk about the positive character in people. Has shown me a lot of the positive character in people that I was already thought highly of.
Yeah.
And then they're willing to take the time, and then we're just a couple of regular guys having lunch. And so, and then some others, I guess I will talk about the negative parts. Some of the others that I can't even get them to do a lunch with me or whatever, they say they'll do it. Yeah. And then they don't ever do it. So like Justin's really busy. Well, in the beginning, he was way more busy, I think, getting settled in, and he was in Charlotte and he was wherever else, and we kept messaging back and forth. And finally we ended up Billy's. They're going through remodeling right now. I don't know if they're back open, but anyway, we finally had a chance to meet at Bill. And I'd known him. I mean, we share a lot of time at the polls and at events, but to sit down and break bread makes a big difference.
Going back to him and talking about drug court, one of the things that I really enjoy about it, and we do it twice a month on Friday mornings. It's usually the first full week of the month, that Friday, and then the third full week of the month. And one of the two most important people in a drug treatment court are the judge that's presiding and the coordinator who kind of keeps everything moving and coordinates everything. But the judge, what the judge does and what Judge Davis does, and he does such a good job of it, is he relates to folks and he talks to them, and that's what they want you to do. Any other courtroom, you're processing people and you're trying to get through as done as possible. It seems like, or at least that's the natural gravitational pull on people is to hurry up and do it.
Craig didn't do that. Craig was, I mean, maybe he did it sometimes, but for the most part.
But
Justin is.
But what I love about it is we get to know these individuals. We've got about 18 people in the program right now, and one of them has a pet squirrel. So what's happening with the pet squirrel? Tell us. Or you started a new job. Tell us about the job. What do you enjoy about it? You started treatment. We've heard that treatment's going well for you. What are you picking up from treatment? And so just by slowing it down and taking 3 to 5 minutes to talk to someone and listen.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
And it means the world to a lot of these folks.
Well, and again, you're tying into something else here. I tell guys all the time, make those connections. This is what I see in the people, like I said, that are of the character that I thought they were, and they confirm it by asking. I mean, literally, you're talking about people, and you're the district attorney, and the first thing you do is you come up and you ask me how I'm doing. Now, I've had people come up and do that, and then 3 seconds later, they're turning around facing the other way. Okay, that guy, not so much. Yeah. But you guys, I mean, Craig Collins, Justin Davis, others. I mean, there are multiple leaders in this, and it's mostly men. I'm mentioning it's not just always men, but in life in general, at your church, at your work, on the ball field, look the kid in the eye and say, "Hey, how's it going at home?" I might cry about this. Look, at church, the guy that's sitting there. I had recently had some surgery, and just the people that have actually listened to me. I mean, I realize that they're true friendships because they really want to know how I'm feeling and how I'm doing. Yeah. And so anyway, I don't know if you cried. No. So building into people's lives, listening, caring, breaking bread if you can. Yeah. Amazing. Cool stuff.
People will tell you what's going on if you just take the time to listen.
Yep, absolutely. Now, every once in a while, there's that one person that just goes sideways on you. You got to take those too. Yeah. But if you're not listen, even if you don't get involved in these programs that we're talking about, which we're going to post up and put the information, even if you don't make it to the Faith in Blue event, okay, that's okay. But you can be taking exactly the elements that you're saying, that you're using, that you're putting in an official capacity. You can take those and put them in the community, in your family, in your life, in your church, and make a huge difference. It makes a big difference. So cool. So, well, listen, I appreciate you being back, and I know, probably a year from now you'll be back again. To tell us more.
Whenever you'll have me.
I appreciate you. I appreciate your service. And again, anybody wants to argue it out there, this man is a good Christian, godly man. He's none of us have arrived. We know that, but we're attempting to do what God has us doing. So out there, that's what we want you to be doing. This is your encouragement. Serve your greater purpose. Do what God's calling you to do. When He calls out for you to serve or volunteer, just do it. Don't sit back and go, "Well, God's gotta." No, He doesn't have to drop. He doesn't have to drop a fleece or whatever. He doesn't have to do
burning bush.
Yeah, he doesn't have to do all that stuff.
I prayed for burning bushes a lot.
I know, right? Yeah, and we do. I get it. We do. But listen, if you're studying God's Word, if you've given your life to Christ, if you are worshiping and praising Him, if you are praying to Him and with Him and asking Him and pleading and interceding on a consistent and constant basis, when you're called to do something, you don't have to ask twice. God will already have it on your heart. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that's what we want to hopefully express out there. So Travis, thank you so much for being here again. Yeah, I appreciate you coming. Listen, support the Greater Purpose Podcast. Share, like, subscribe, do all that kind of good stuff. We are approaching 200,000 channel views, which is amazing. When we first started this thing, I probably told you I was happy to get 100 views or whatever.
That's amazing.
It is. It's crazy. And over almost 5,000 subscribers, we're getting there. So it is crazy because of people like you who are willing to come and share what the greater purpose is. So you want to close out with anything else?
No, Bill, I'm just so thankful for you to have me back on. I appreciate it. I think maybe some of those subscribers are trying to get a look into your cards. But no, I really appreciate the opportunity to come here and to serve as DA. I mean,
we appreciate it.
I think my role, I have the ability to set the tone for what justice and for what mercy also look like in this community. And I'm going to fall short, just like we all are in my walk. But I really appreciate the good Lord put me in this position.
Amen.
So
yep. He's put the right man in the right position. So, and he will with you as well. So go out there, serve your greater purpose. Come back again next week. We'll have another guest. Thanks again for supporting us and encouraging us and loving us like you do. We appreciate it. Till next time, from the Greater Purpose Podcast, God bless.